Hi, I'm here and I've got the KTM 790. You might think that that's kind of an old motorcycle because it came out in 2020. This is not the same bike, but it is the same bike. What KTM did was they upgraded the original 790 to an 890, gave it some more features, jacked up the price. The first one had a price range in the $12,000 range. They were quickly running into competition against the Yamaha T7, which was about $10,000, the Honda Transalp. So they needed something in that price range. So their solution was to ship all the tooling to China for the original 790 and produce it there in Hangzhou at CFmoto's plant. They've got an arrangement with that company. The result is this bike with an $11,000 price tag, more or less even cheaper than the original. Now, I've been riding it for a few days. I completely dig it, and I cannot really tell that it's a Chinese bike. It really isn't. It's a KTM bike because it has all their tooling, all their personnel, just putting the bike together. Really pumped by it because it has all those same features that I loved about that original 790. You have ride modes. One of them is off-road, one of them is rally. You've got street and rain. Don't use those very much. It has two different types of traction control. I'm still kind of exploring that, but different levels of each. It really runs well. One of the cool things about this bike is it's kind of a mini bike compared to other adventure bikes. I just did a rally for a couple of days in the mountains around Idlewild, and this carries all of its gas way down below around the motor, whereas you get in a T7 and you're sitting inside the bike because it's got this huge gas tank in front of you, and that makes this bike feel really small. This bike does have kind of reduced suspension travel. That's probably its biggest downfalling. It has apex suspension, which is not adjustable. The original 790, I think, had more adjustable suspension. I'll forgive it that because when you get in the rocks and you're doing anything like that, you can kind of foot it. It works really well. So I'm pretty familiar with this bike. I'm gonna put something on dirtbikemagazine.com so you can read about it there. But I'm really curious about what it can do in the hands of someone who, might not have much adventure bike experience but knows how to twist the throttle. So I'm gonna give it to Carson Brown and see what he has to say.
What's going on? I'm Carson Brown. I just got to try this Adventure 790 for the first time. Honestly, I've never ridden any adventure bike, so it was kind of a new thing for me. Like Ron was saying, I pinned it, full moto background, pretty much that's it. So I had a ton of fun. I was actually surprised with how fast it was. Grabbing gears and everything down the road, I mean, it was really hauling compared to like a 450 or something that I'm used to riding. So that was pretty cool, you know, getting it off-road. Definitely got her sideways a few times, but that's kind of what I do, you know, just kept her revving, and it was honestly a blast getting to kind of shake this thing down and learn as I went, and definitely got her head shaken a few times, but that's part of it. And you know, this thing's not meant for moto. Yeah, cool experience. So the suspension on this, it was pretty good, especially for, you know, being an adventure and everything. I honestly never even bottomed it out, and I was hitting the bumps pretty hard. I was trying to double through some of those little water holes and everything, and the suspension felt pretty good. Got yeah, just some head shake was my only complaint with it. I turned the traction control off every time I went out on it because yeah, I wanted to drift her around. So I've raced some Harley bagger bikes on some road courses and everything. Those are kind of a similar feel, honestly, going down the road, heavy. Really got to weigh them in and hit your marks just right around the corners, or else, you know, obviously you're gonna end up in the trees. So honestly, pretty similar to that. This has a bit of a bigger, heavier front end feel for me. It's a lot heavier than anything I was used to in the front, so I was definitely having to you know, kind of put my weight further back, especially with the scoop being this far back in the seat. So that was definitely something to get used to, but overall it handled really well, and I was pretty impressed with it. Nothing broke, which is pretty rare for me, honestly, so pretty stoked on that. I adjusted the clutch a few times, but I mean, for a new bike breaking in, that's all pretty normal stuff.